Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, September 2nd, and I hope that everybody had a safe and fun Labor Day yesterday. I hope you're feeling refreshed. I hope you're ready to knock the short week out on a high note and just have a killer week. So, fun fact, we have been celebrating Labor Day for 144 years. That's a really long time, and I'll be honest, having a national holiday yesterday, I think that's holiday enough for the week, so we're just going to stop it with that. Next, we've got a few other things that I wanted to cover. Number one, I want to give a big thank you to all of the technicians who participated in the online scavenger hunt. It was really cool to get to see so many technicians from so many different areas participating, sending those answers in, and winning some cool prizes. I will say that I got some really good feedback on ways we could try to make it easier for our technicians in the future to be able to participate and get a chance to win some of these prizes. So when we do this again, and we will do it again, I'll make sure to incorporate some of those ideas to make it a little bit easier for our technicians in the field. But I do appreciate all the feedback that we did have from our technicians. So thank you guys for being able to do that. A little bit of housekeeping stuff. So we did talk about this maybe, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer. We're still having issues with it, so I need to bring it back up. And that is when we're at a customer's house, please, please, please do not give the customer a time we are going to be coming back out to get an issue resolved until after you have talked to the office and you know that that's going to be a time slot that we have available and we can actually get back out there. It creates a lot of headache for our customers when we have a technician say, hey, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to be able to get back out here tomorrow morning to take a look at your system. We can't get anything done today. And so the customer has in their head that we're going to be coming back out the next morning, and the office does not have that availability. So do not promise time slots to the customer unless you have talked to the office and you know for sure that that is something we're going to be able to get done. It would be just like if a CXR told a customer no matter what was wrong with their system, I guarantee the technician's going to have what they need on their truck in order to get you taken care of. That is completely outside of their control, just like the schedule is completely outside of our technician's control. So do me a favor, if you are talking to a customer and they want to have a time that something's going to get done, make sure to talk to the office. But whatever we do, we don't need to give them a time that we're not going to be able to stick to, because that's just going to make customers upset. So don't give them any kind of timing unless we've talked to the office and we know for sure we can make that happen. Okay? Next thing I want to cover is, you all know that we're transitioning to using dispatchers instead of having call-by-call coaches, and instead of allowing managers to move things around on the board. So we're working through it so we can have this going in all locations and in all departments. So as the dispatchers have been taking more responsibility for keeping the board running smoothly, I would love some feedback from our technicians in the field. What are the things that you all have been noticing? What are the things that you feel like have been working better? What are the things that you feel like we need to improve on? So I'm going to ask you, either send me a message in Teams, just look for Devon, I'm the only one that works here. And if you don't want to send it via Teams, if you want to send an email, you can send me an email at dchopola@gopascal.com. But I want to get some feedback from our technicians on what have you been seeing over the last week, 2 weeks, as we've been transitioning to dispatchers running the board and really starting to own that. I would like to know what the experience has been for you all. That way we can make adjustments, or if things have been working much better, let us know that too, because we want to know what the experience has been like for you all. So please send me an email. Please send me a message in Teams. It's really going to be the easiest way for me to be able to see those. But if you want to send an email, you can absolutely do that as well. Also, one other thing that I'm looking into is, I've been hearing from a lot of technicians that the process for sending the review links in ServiceTitan sometimes hits a bit of a glitch. You guys aren't able to send them, or the customer is not getting them. I'm meeting with some technicians after the service meeting today to talk through some of these issues and try to figure out what can we do in order to prevent that from happening. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be much easier for us to make sure that you all are getting credit for the reviews that you're sending if we're doing it in ServiceTitan. But if something isn't working, I want to make sure we figure out what that is and be able to get it resolved. So if you all have been having any issues, feel free to send me a message in Teams or send me an email to the email address that I'll make sure it's posted up on the screen, because I want to make sure I'm getting that feedback from you all. If there's issues that you're running into, sending those reviews inside of ServiceTitan. Now, if you just don't know how to do it at all, we talked about it, 2 weeks ago. You can go into the main page on the customer's job. You scroll down just a little ways and it says like send review right there, and you can click on it and send that review to the customer. So make sure we're getting that done, and that will help us make sure we're getting all those reviews sent out to our customers while we're on site. That way we're able to get those 5-star reviews. So a couple of updates in ServiceTitan. This one is actually just going to be for HVAC service. I know that for plumbing and for electric, we've updated your project form a little while ago. Seems like everything is working pretty smoothly there. I haven't heard any complaints, and I know that it's working better for the coordinators, so they're able to get those materials and jobs booked faster. So for our HVAC technicians, you're going to notice on the return repair form, there's a couple of updates to that. The most obvious thing you're going to see is that underneath the vendor, if you're requesting parts to be ordered, you're going to see that there is a little section that says, if you reached out to the vendor, what was the quote number they gave you? And what that means is if you called the vendor to see if the part was in stock and they said, no, we're going to have to order, it's going to be 3 to 5 days. A lot of times they're going to give you, hey, do you want me to save this on a quote, or do you want me to save this on an estimate? And we just need to get that information. That way our parts ordering department, when they call that vendor, if we already have that quote number, it's going to make it a lot easier for them to get those parts ordered and make sure it's the right thing. So if you're on the phone with the vendor and you're asking about a specific part or parts, if you can get a quote number, it'll make the job much easier. Number 2, still on that return repair form, if you all are replacing a compressor, one thing you're going to notice on the form that is going to be required is you have to take a picture of the model and serial number of the compressor. I know our technicians are getting the model and serial numbers off of the condensing unit, but for warranty purposes, we've got to make sure we're getting the model and serial number of the compressor, so that is also going to be an update that's on the form. So those 2 things, that's all I've got for ServiceTitan, and that's going to be the updates for the week. So I hope that everybody has a great week. It's going to be a short week for a lot of you, starting here on a Tuesday. So I'll see you next week on Tech Talk.